Hey friends, Doc Champagne here again in our continuing video series about these bad tactics that you're putting into your live events, your webinars, your online summits that is devastating your numbers. If you host webinars, if you have the camera on you, you're trying to bring in a massive audience, you're trying to keep them in their seats, keep them engaged all the way through so you can tell them about your solution. You've got a solution, some tools, some methods, something you know that could help people, but they never get to it because you're using these bad tactics the experts have told us to put into our webinars, into our live events, and it's having just the opposite effect. It's driving people away. It comes from what I call the evil psychology. And in this video series, I've been giving you alternatives to these practices that actually draw people in, retain them, engage them, so you can get your message out to them. In the last video, we talked about a couple of these bad mindsets, these bad tactics. I'm going to bring up two more in this video. And the first is asking where they live. I don't really have a fancy name for it, but it's that tactic you see everybody using in their webinars. You got to get rid of this because you have a good message that needs to get through to people and you're smothering it with bad tactics like this one. And this one goes like this. You've seen this if you've attended any webinars anytime lately. They all do the same thing. The camera comes on, the host appears, and what do? Hey everybody, before we begin, I'd like to know where everybody's from. So just type your location in the comment box below. Yep, anytime now. Yep, just use that comment box. There we go. Yep. Wait, there's somebody. John from Carmel, Indiana. Thanks for attending. Yeah, just fill in the comment box. Yeah, wait a minute, one more. Daphne from LA is here. And I'm thinking, what are you doing? You've already told people how important their time is. And you might even have used that tactic we talked about last time, the here I am approach. So you've told them, here I am, put away all your devices, close your browsers, put your phones away. I need you to focus on me because this is so important. And then you spend time asking them where they are. Think about the people watching your replays who are sitting there like this. They're already tuned out. They're gone because you've told them it's important. And now you're doing this community building, the fake community building. You're trying to do something that you should have done earlier. And as with all my videos, it's a lot of tough love here. I'm not criticizing you who have done this technique. I'm criticizing the technique because it's the experts who have said, oh yeah, this is what you do to build rapport and relationship with your audience. I'm telling you it's too late. The alternative is to build the rapport and the relationship before they show up. As I said in my earlier video, it is a rookie mistake to turn that camera on, walk on the stage, and not know who your audience is. And that's what you're demonstrating when you're asking people where they live. Wasting time, making them disengaged, get their phones back out and do other things, and you've demonstrated to them you don't know where they're from. When you use a tool like Sideways Survey, which is what I talked about in the last video, that is firmly rooted in the bedrock of psychology. Sideways Survey is that process of asking questions and giving answers to your attendees before your live event, before your summit. So it's all very strategic. You ask a couple of questions. Those people respond, not too many. It might only be 20 or 25% will respond. But then you close the loop. You do something nobody else does. You respond to what they had to say. And you write back to say, 10% of you said this. Isn't that interesting? And 20% of you said that. And here's the 5 funniest things that you said. And here's 5 things I thought were really impactful that I'm going to make sure I include on the webinar. And it has a real shock value because people aren't used to getting responded to when they fill out a survey. It's usually the end of it. You never hear from anybody. You're doing something different. You're closing the loop. You're letting them know their voice was heard, what they said made a difference, where they compare with other people. You're taking advantage of the good psychology. That then gives you the right to ask them a couple more questions. So you ask them a couple more strategic questions. They respond, and you close the loop again. Oh, I heard what you had to say. It's really interesting. Here are the 10 most interesting things I heard everybody say. And here's 5 unexpected things. And you're getting some rapport, some relationship with these individuals who are going to be attending. And you're having that survey conversation with them. And you're drawing from what they have to say, their needs, their wants, their expectations, so you can incorporate it into your own content. So when they do walk in the door, they want to see you and the content is somewhat customized to what they were expecting. That's just another huge piece of using Sideways Survey. So when I do a webinar, for example, and use Sideways Survey, I've already asked them questions like, where are you from? So here's how I open my webinar when I use a tool like Sideways Survey. The camera turns on. I say, welcome everyone to the event. We have people from all over the world here. I see we have 11 people from Australia. Hey, thanks mates. I know it's really early for you. I really appreciate you being here. We have 15% of our audiences from Canada, from Montreal, Toronto, Quebec. Hey, my relatives are from Quebec, Champagne, French Canadian. We even have 7 people here from Atlanta, Georgia, right here, Atlanta, Georgia. Go Falcons. And then I begin my webinar. So what have I done? I've demonstrated that I already have something of a relationship. I know something about them. I'm engaging them. The people who are watching the replay only have about 30 seconds for this, and they're engaged as well. And then we move on. I can start giving them my message. So I've demonstrated some rapport, and I've done it ahead of time. When those people walk in your door, you don't want them to be strangers. So think about Sideways Survey. If you're someone that wants to take action, go ahead and click below. There's a link for a webinar that I'm doing on Sideways Survey. Show you all the details, what sorts of questions to ask, how to apply it to your own webinars, your online summits, your live events. Apply it to what you're already doing. You already have a great message. What you need is to get rid of these bad tactics that the experts are saying to use, stuff that might have worked 4 or 5 years ago, but your audience is far too savvy for that now. Get rid of these bad tactics. Apply good psychology like Sideways Survey to what you're already doing. That's what's going to bring people in, attract them, engage them, and keep them until you have time to explain what it is you have to offer. The second technique we were going to talk about was trust. Oh yeah, trust. All right, so just getting back to some basics. For people to buy something from you, they have to trust you, right? We know this. To get to trust you, they have to know you. And they have to know that you know something about them. And that's very difficult to do in a 90-minute event, right? Take people who might just be on your list. They're just a name to you, an email address. They might be from somebody else's list. And somehow in 90 minutes, you have to get them from that point to buying something from you. And they have to trust you. That's very difficult to do. And we see the online marketing masters do this. Really, it's magic, right? I mean, they have this aura about them. They have no idea who you are, but you're watching them. They're explaining to you what your pain is and what your problem is and how their solution will work, and they give the testimonies and but you're pulling out your wallet in like 60 minutes to buy their product. Those people are amazing. I'm not that person, and maybe you're not that person either. We need a shortcut. We need to be able to get from somebody we don't really know to buying. You need to shortcut the process. And the experts will say, oh, doc, that's not the purpose. The purpose of a webinar is most people won't buy, and most people have to watch a webinar 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 times before they'll buy from you. I'm like, really? Do you know how much time it takes to create a webinar? All the planning, the content, the promoting, the technical issues, you got partners to set up, all the stress of actually standing in front of the camera and getting your slides together and the message. That's a lot of time. And I got to do this 6 times now. That's what you do when you have total strangers. That's the stranger formula. If you have strangers, you might have to do this 5 or 6 times. There's a shortcut. And the shortcut is to use the good psychology to develop a relationship, a rapport with your people before they walk in the door. That's the shortcut. So when you use a tool like Sideways Survey, you're asking questions, they're giving responses. You're closing the loop, letting them know what they had to say, what others had to say, how they compare to others. You're giving them some information they can't get anywhere else. They respond to another question you ask, you give back an answer. You're having this survey conversation with them right on through to the webinar starts. So when the doors open, the camera turns on, you don't have to say, hey, here I am, focus on me, put away all your stuff, I don't want any distractions. You just turn on the camera and everyone's there. And they say, hey, there you are, Doc. So great to meet you. We've been having this conversation all this time. That's where you want your attendees to be, to already have developed some relationship, some of that exchange, some of that rapport before the doors open. You're just that much further down the path to the sale, to them tuning in to hear your message. It might not be for them, but at least they will get to that point to hear what you have to say to see if it's the solution for them. It just takes all the pressure off. You know, most people in a webinar, you're worried about, you know, who's going to show up, are they going to stay tuned in, you know, try all these different techniques and stuff to try to get people engaged. It takes all that stress off. They already know you and you know them, and you've been having this conversation. So that's it for now. I'll do another video to talk about a couple more of these bad techniques that we use, but all of this goes away when you use the good psychology and get rid of these bad tactics. It's smothering your message. Your message needs to be heard. Quit using the bad tactics that are covering it up. Let your message shine through that. A couple more videos coming up. If you want to take action, click the link below. You can get right into the webinar that I'll be holding soon. I got a couple more videos, one on first dates. That's going to be a lot of fun. That'll be the next one. We're going to talk about outcomes, what to do with those people who did not buy from you, how to use sideways survey to continue that conversation, even to those that didn't buy, so that they stay engaged with you, they stay in touch, they keep communicating with you. I'll give you a little hint on that. Imagine people filling out your emails, clicking over and over because you're asking questions, you're closing the loop. You ask another question, they respond, you close the loop. On and on this goes. You're keeping people engaged over time until you find out what that real message, what that solution is that they really need. So until the next video, I think if you'll like this somewhere, if you're on Facebook, if you're on YouTube, I think if you subscribe here somewhere, you'll get the next video. Or just click and register for the webinar. I'll give you all the details about sideways survey and how to easily apply that to what you're already doing. So until that time, I'm Doc Champagne. Thank you for sharing your time with me. I know it's the most valuable possession you have. I hope it was worthwhile. We'll see you soon.